Hey everybody, thanks for coming to check out today's video. So typically I show you a project start to finish, but this one's a bit different because this isn't my project. I was asked if I could help finish getting the last few pieces welded on. It's my buddy's, and unfortunately his welder isn't up to the task of getting the rest of the pieces welded properly, so he asked if I could get it finished up for him, and I said, of course I'll help. It's an easy video. Of course I'm going to do it. But unfortunately, he did tell me, oh, wait, hold on. Dramatic. Dramatic effect. He doesn't want me to make it look pretty. So he doesn't want me to spend a whole bunch of time cleaning everything up, getting it all perfect. That's not what he wants. He just wants me to put the last few pieces on, get it all welded up, and get it back to him. So that's all I'm gonna do. Hopefully. I'm really gonna fight the urge to not try and pretty some of this up. But most of it will get covered up and you won't even see it very much. So hopefully I can get over it not being over-engineered and overdone. We'll see what happens. Let me show you how I did it. To start this out, I am going to make the lid for the top of the smoke box. I'm using a 1/4 inch 30 by 30 sheet, and I just got to cut down, obviously, to make sure that it fits the dimensions of the top of the smoke box. Now that I got that cut out, I can get everything tacked up and get ready to fully weld the entire outside of the smoke box to hopefully make sure none of the smoke leaks out the side and all of it transfers into the actual tank. As I go through and weld all of my seams, I'm using my cutoff wheel to put a little bevel in there so it'll get more depth of penetration for the weld, since they are just butt up against each other plates. So I wanted a little bit more surface area for the weld to really bite into. With the welding done, I moved on to adding the strip that will bridge the gap between the door on the inside of the box. I wish I would have thought about, adding this strip in before I put the top on, so I didn't have to jam my head in here to make sure that my tack was actually going to hit something. All of the material I'm using for the outside layer on the door is 1/8 inch by 1.5 flat stock. I'm just going to trim them down and get them tacked in so I can put a little stitch pattern on them, and hopefully the inside tacks keep it from peeling up, but they don't get in the way when I actually put the door on and try to close it, and hopefully it'll sit, flush. I turn the box over to hopefully get the spacing for the door right, and it won't have any hang-ups with the tacks. The hinges I'm using are whatever random ones my buddy sent along with this thing. I honestly probably would have used something that wasn't galvanized, but whatever. What's a little bit of poisonous fumes? Big whoop. But seriously, don't weld on galvanized. It's really bad for you. I don't recommend it. For the latch on the door, I thought, I could do something simple, or I could way overcomplicate it. So I drilled a hole in the door, added a 3/8 bolt, then I drilled a hole in a piece of 1/4 by 1 inch flat stock and sandwiched it between 2 nuts, and I used 2 pieces of 1/4 inch by 2 inch little squares, tacked those together, and added another piece of the 1 inch flat stock to be the catch. I'm gonna weld that all on, and then I'm gonna figure out some sort of handle for the latch because it's a little plain if I don't put something on it. So I ended up going with another bolt on the latch, and I'm going to thread on 3 nuts later. I did it after I finished filming, but I didn't like the thought of just grabbing the threads, so I figured I'd add a couple nuts on there just so it was not all sharp for your hand. The last step I need to do for the smoke box is to add some legs to the bottom of it, so when I add it to the back of the tank, it'll all sit, hopefully, pretty level. I cut them a 1/4 inch short because I will be adding more 2x2 1/4 inch feet on these legs because it will be sitting outside, and I wanted to hopefully keep it from sinking into the ground too much. These angles that my buddy sent along with me, I'm pretty sure they're chopped up bed frame because I think I saw where like the rivets were. I don't even know where he got this stuff. But whatever, I didn't have to go get more angle for it and made it simple to have them pre-cut and ready for me. So can't complain too much, and they're sturdy, so they should work out just fine. With the smoke box done, I moved on to the tank. I am going to seal up the door the same way that I did the smoke box, but the only real difference is I am going to have to curl the flat stock around the curve of the door, which I'm going to use a whole bunch of clamps to keep it right where I want it to be, and I can get it all tacked on, welded, and we will move on to the latch for this door. I'm doing the same thing for this latch, except I need to add another 1/4 inch piece to the stack for the actual latch catch. Because of the curve, it raised the height a little bit, and if I didn't add it, the latch wouldn't move high enough to clear the catch before it bound up on the actual frame of the door. For the knob on this one, I know I'm not supposed to do anything fun or fancy, so I just grabbed a little piece of rebar to use as the knob for the latch. I thought it was, simple, and I had it laying around. It was a cut off piece from a different project, so I thought it would be just perfect, and both handles can't be the same, so I went with something a little different. Now, with both halves of the project complete, I can finally put them together, get it all set, tacked up, and then I will weld it all the way around to seal both of them together. I did have to go through and clean up the cut on the back of the tank a little bit, though, because the box didn't quite fit, so that was necessary, so that doesn't really count as extra, right? Whatever, nobody tell him, he won't know. And for the final step, all I got to do is tack on and weld the 1/4 inch 2x2 tabs that I'm using for the feet of the smoke box, and then I will be able to show you the final thing all said and done without the step of me cleaning everything relentlessly and putting a paint job on it. And here it is, all complete-ish. There's still some more work that has to be done, but my buddy said he's going to take care of that when he gets it back home. So my portion of this is all said and done and complete. And honestly, this is as good as the B-roll for this is going to get, because it's kind of massive and super heavy. So this is all I got for you. Thank you for checking it out. Like, subscribe, comment, blah, blah. Yeah, so I lied. I'm not done. I went this whole project without going over the top or getting crazy with anything. So to add a little bit of a personal touch, I am going to put this little panda head as the smoke box door handle knob because, come on, I gotta have a little bit of fun with it.